What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of MLB action on Thursday, August 28th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the best chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, a little bit of a step back possibly from what we did the day before. Obviously, we're not going to go 5-1 today, but still some very solid wins out there. We did get off to a bad start with the Rays at -130. A tough loss in the 10th inning with Manzardo walking it off on us. Rasmussen was really good, but so was Ciccone, and the Twins' bullpen was uncharacteristically good, not surrendering a single run. So we do take the tough loss in that one. We bounce back, though, with the no-run first inning in that Padres-Mariners game. A relatively low-scoring game early, so we'll take the win with no runs there in the first inning. Not a great start for Darvish, but getting out of the first is all we had to care about in that one. Now, we had the Brewers at -140. Feels like a bit of a bad beat. A tough 3-2 loss there. The Brewers managed only 2 runs on 10 hits, losing to the Diamondbacks in a game where they actually out-hit Arizona 10-9. So that was definitely an annoying spot. We bounced back, though. Once again, had the Royals there at -120. A comfortable win for Kansas City. Burgert was excellent in that game. The White Sox pitching staff got completely destroyed. A very, very nice, generally good offensive day there for the Royals. So they'll take that. They need every possible win they can get at this point. We've still got the Reds live at +175 as a big underdog today. They're down 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning there in LA, but they just had the bases loaded there against the Dodgers. Obviously, tough to see them miss that opportunity to put some more runs on the board, but shows that they are hitting that Dodgers bullpen a little bit. So definitely still have hope for that one. We did cash our massive lock of the day. We hit the Red Sox at -130. A very close 3-2 win there for Boston, but thanks to a 2-run home there in the top of the 9th, they get the job done. A very good start from Bello, and the Boston bullpen continues to show they are elite. The Orioles pitching situation was a bit weird, but they were actually solid, eventually, giving it up in the end. So we'll take the win on that one. Nice to cash another lock of the day. So we're going to dive back in and get after it. We've got a decent 8-game slate to cover here on a, fairly eventful Thursday. So we'll see how things go, see how those last couple of games play out. It'd be very nice if the Reds could make a big comeback for us. We'll see what happens, though. We're going to jump into our first game of the day here, and we've got the Boston Red Sox. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Baltimore Orioles. Boston comes into this game 74-60 on the season. They've won the first 3 games of this series I'm not going to say relatively handily, because they did win 2 of those games by 1 run each, but they've got to be feeling good about life. They're 4 games back of Toronto in the AL East, and they've got great wild card position. They're hitting the ball in this one to their ace, Garrett Crochet. This kid is 14-5 on the season, a 2.38 ERA. He's been looking great out there. He's given up 1 earned run over his last 14 innings of work. Now, we did see the Red Sox manage to lose in his start back on the 17th against the Marlins, but they shelled the Yankees the last time he was on the mound. He struck out 11 in that one as well. So very, very good stuff from Crochet. Really nothing negative for me to say about him. He's going up against an Orioles team that he hasn't faced since back in early April, but in that start, he went 8 innings, gave up 4 hits and no runs while striking out 8. So not too worried about Garrett Crochet in this spot. I think he'll go out there and dominate. The bullpen for the Red Sox has looked excellent. This is the end of a long series, so maybe they're a little bit tired, but I'm not too worried about the Red Sox bullpen. They've been elite all year long. The offense for Boston hasn't been the hottest in this series, if I'm being honest. I mean, 3, 5, and 4 runs, respectively, over these 3 games is not incredible for a team that is 4th in the majors in runs scored, 7th in batting average, 8th in on-base percentage this year. This is an elite level offense. They're just not swinging the hottest bats at the moment, but they're doing enough to get the job done. So we'll see what they do here at Camden Yards, taking on the Orioles, who are now 13 games below 500 and losing 6 out of their last 7. Their season is pretty well over. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Cade Povich, who's 2-7 on the year, a 5.13 ERA. This young lefty, somebody the Orioles were really hoping would take big steps in the right direction this year, and that hasn't exactly happened. The last time he was on the mound, he got shelled by Houston. Honestly, the last 2 times he was on the mound, I guess he did strike out 10 back on the 16th, but really didn't give his team the best chance to win, and they did not win either one of those games. So we'll see what he does here against the Red Sox, a team that he faced back in late May and was actually pretty good over 5 innings, but we saw Boston win that game 19-5. So we'll see if the Orioles bullpen shows up for this game. They have not been showing up too poorly recently, I guess, but over the course of the year, they're 6th worst in the majors. A 4.66 bullpen ERA fills me with very little optimism. The offense, 2-0-3, 3-8-7 over their last few games. all but one of which have been losses. They're 18th in the majors this year in runs scored. They're 22nd in batting average. So yeah, just not a lot of positives for the Orioles at the plate this year. A huge step back from what they were doing at the plate a season ago, where they were one of the scariest offenses in the major league. So we'll see what they can do down the stretch, but I'm not very high on this Orioles team. They really don't have anything to play for, and looking at the numbers, the bookies definitely recognize that. The Red Sox are minus 170. The Orioles are plus 145. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Boston's 32-35 on the road, 37-29-1 to the over on the road. The Orioles are 31-35 at home, 33-31-2 to the over at home. I don't think over 8 is out of the question in this game. I think we'll see a lot of offense, but I think it's all going to be from the Red Sox. So instead of getting too involved in what could end up being a sketchy over with the Red Sox bats not being the hottest right now, I'll just take Boston here at minus 170 with Crochet on the mound. I'd be pretty floored if they don't win this game. This could definitely be our lock of the day. You could take a minus 1.5. Definitely that is not out of the question for me in this matchup at all. So yeah, the Red Sox, definitely the way you want to go. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Diamondbacks actually get the 3-2 win there in Game 3 of this series. At 65-69 on the year, they've got to feel pretty lucky they did get that win, but this team has an awful lot of work to do if they want to make some sort of Cinderella run at a playoff spot. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Nabil Krizmat. He comes into this game a 1.00 ERA. He's had one bullpen appearance, one start. The start was against the Rockies, and he was pretty good over 5 innings. The bullpen appearance was against the Reds, and he was excellent. 4 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed. He did walk 3 in that outing, so we'll see if his control problems are under control here, but we'll see. He's definitely not somebody that I expect to go deep into the game. I would say 5 innings is probably somewhere around the max for him, and that is a problem if you're the Diamondbacks because your bullpen is one of the 4 worst bullpens in the majors this year, a 4.77 bullpen ERA. Definitely not a pen that you can rely on whatsoever. The offense has not been atrocious. 3, 8, 5, 1, 10, 6, and 3 over their last few is not incredible hitting. They have, maintained a little bit of that, solid hitting that they amassed before being big sellers there at the trade deadline, but this isn't an offense that I feel like I can super trust right now. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Brewers, who have to be a little bit tilted to have lost yesterday. Just couldn't bunch those hits together, and yeah, out-hitting your opponent and still losing, got to be a pretty lame feeling. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jose Quintana, who's 10-4 on the season, a 3.32 ERA. He's coming off a very solid start there against the Giants, 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. Those are both solo home runs in a game that was a 5-4 win there for Milwaukee. He's been throwing the ball really well over his last 5 outings. In terms of history against the Diamondbacks this season, he hasn't faced them since April, but he destroyed them back in April, and that was a lot bigger, a lot tougher team to face. So definitely like Quintana in this spot. The Brewers bullpen I like as well. A 3.83 bullpen ERA isn't among the league leaders, but it's not among the worst in the league either, and that was a concern for this team at several different points. So we'll see if they can put together another good bullpen outing. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, or looking at the offense for this game more like, obviously Milwaukee's got to be tilted about how yesterday went, but overall this is an elite level offense, guys. They're second in batting average, second in on-base percentage. They're also second in runs scored in all of the major leagues. They scored 297, 3, 1, and 5 over their last few. So honestly, not that hot of hitting for what they've been doing here recently. This is an elite level offense, guys. So I expect them to find a way to put up some big numbers here very, very soon. Looking at the numbers for this game, the odds makers think it could be this game where that happens because the Diamondbacks are plus 140. The Brewers are minus 170. We've got a total of 8.5. Arizona's 30-37 on the road, 32-31-4 to the over on the road. Milwaukee is 45-22 at home, 34-31-2 to the under at home. I actually think this is a pretty good spot to take the Brewers. I think the Red Sox could end up being our lock of the day. I'll probably leave them at minus 170, but I think Milwaukee could blow out the Diamondbacks in this one. So definitely give me the Brewers here with the potential of possibly taking them at minus 1.5. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Colorado Rockies heading to Houston to take on the Astros. After a crazy 6-1 win there in Game 1 of this series, the Rockies lost 4-0 in Game 2. This team's been historically bad, so I'm not shocked to see them come back to earth very, very quickly. They'll hand the ball in this game to Kyle Freeland, who's 3-13 on the season, a 5.31 ERA. His last time on the mound, he got shelled by the Pirates. It's not exactly a great look. He did have a decent start against the Dodgers, a great start against the Cardinals, but this guy has not been consistently good at all this season. The last time he faced the Astros, he was pretty decent, though. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs allowed. So I don't hate this spot specifically for Freeland. He is in a bit of a bounce back situation, and he's shown the ability to bounce back at different times this year, so maybe he'll be okay out there. But even if he is good, what can we really expect out of that Rockies bullpen? I mean, a 5.23 bullpen ERA is second worst in all of Major League Baseball. That's a tough look. So we'll see what they can do out there, but I'm not expecting anything positive from that bullpen. The offense getting shut out yesterday doesn't look great when you've scored 0, 6, 0, 1, and 0 over your last few games. This team has fully let go of the rope. They are 29th in the majors in runs scored. They are 29th in the majors in on-base percentage. This is a terrible, terrible baseball team. So we'll see what they do here in Houston, taking on an Astros team that at 73-60 on the year is a game and a half up on the Mariners. They'll hand the ball in this game to Jason Alexander, who's 4-1 this year, a 4.59 ERA. Something to be said for the fact that the last 5 times he started, the Astros have won. Back-to-back good starts against the Orioles, a great outing against the Yankees, a dominant outing against the Marlins, and a middling performance against the Nationals in a game we did see the Astros eventually win 7-4. So love the way he's throwing the ball right now. Been getting better and better. Hasn't faced the Rockies this season, but I'm not too worried about Jason Alexander out there. I think he's going to have a very good outing in this game, going up against a terrible offense. The Astros bullpen has had a few problems recently. It's been very good this season in general. I mean, a 3.76 bullpen ERA here at time of recording, I don't think accurately reflects how good this bullpen's been the majority of the season. Now, the offense, on the other hand, has not been good. 4, 1, and 2 runs over their last few games. They had that stretch where they got shut out for 3 straight games not too long ago. They've been hitting the ball better recently, not swinging the worst bats in the majors right now, but they're still 21st in the majors in runs scored, 5th in batting average. But this is a team that just struggles to get guys across the plate. So looking at the numbers for this one, guys, the Rockies are plus 195. The Astros are minus 240. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Rockies are 17-49 on the road. That's an MLB worst road mark. They are 39-26-1 to the under on the road. The Astros are 38-28 at home, 35-29-2 to the under at home. I'm pretty shocked to see a total of 9 in this game. Freeland has very good numbers against the Astros like that. I know he didn't throw the ball great the last time he was on the mound, but I think he's in for a good start in this one. I think Alexander's going to go out there and dominate. I do think the Astros will win this game. They're not a team that's good enough at the plate for me to take them at minus 1.5, but I would take them straight up to win this game. However, I think under 9 is by far the better value. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, NFL, and college football picks. NFL and college football kicking off for real here this coming weekend and then throughout next week. So a ton of stuff ending up over there in the premium section for both of those sports. MLB has been our most profitable sport the last few years in a row and has had a great 2025 season overall. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which will not always match what you see here in the video, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We have an expert with well over a decade of experience capping MLB. He was on quite the hot run there. He did have a little bit of a tough day here yesterday. Looks like best case scenario, it's going to be a 2-2 kind of night. He was also victimized by the Brewers. That was a tough one. He did have a nice no-run first inning play there on the Diamondbacks Milwaukee. That one cashed. The Rockies, Houston over, didn't get going. Not a lot of offense happening in that game, but overall, not his best day. I'm fully expecting him to bounce back, but you're not only signing up for the premium for MLB anymore, guys. Yeah, there are 9 NCAA football picks in the premium section over there for week 1 of NCAA football here coming up in just a few days. There are already 6 NFL week 1 picks in the premium section as well, including player props, obviously picks on teams against the spread, some money line picks as well. A ton of great stuff there for the upcoming weeks of football in the premium section. So definitely get over there and check that out. It's a great value and some very, very good information. Also, you got to get over there to get on the free email newsletter, guys. It's one email straight to your inbox every single day, full of fantastic information. There'll be at least 1 free pick, oftentimes 2 free picks in those emails. Also information on niche sports betting that you wouldn't even necessarily think of, like maybe NASCAR, golf, tennis. WNBA is often covered in those emails. It's a fantastic resource if you're a serious sports bettor. Also, parlays are included in those emails, and occasionally there's a bankroll builder challenge that goes on through those emails. So you definitely want to get signed up for that. All they need is your name and your email address. You just go over there to Stump the Spread by clicking the link in the description, and you'll just sign up for a free account. All they ask for is your name and your email address. You'll get one email every single day. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but more importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie every single week from here on out. I think it's the first, whatever it says on the screen right here, that's when the next giveaway is, but I'm pretty sure it's on the 1st of next month. We'll be rolling the wheel one more time, spinning the wheel one more time to see who wins that free Stump the Spread hoodie. I just ordered one up and sent it out yesterday to the winner, well, actually to somebody else, because the winner didn't claim his hoodie last time. So maybe we'll be doing more and more giveaways. We'll see how that goes. But guys, we got to dive back in. We've got a bunch more games to cover here on a relatively busy Thursday of MLB action. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're going on the road in this one to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Pirates come into this game fresh off a nice 2-1 win there over the Cardinals. That 2-run single lifting them to the win there in the 6th inning. They've won 2 out of the first 3 in this series. Obviously, the Pirates don't have anything left to play for necessarily, but they've got pride and they are actually, trying out there on a nightly basis. So hats off to them. They're beating up on their NL Central rivals here, and they're going to hand the ball in this one to Braxton Ashcraft. He comes into this game sporting a 2.70 ERA. This young 25-year-old trying to make the transition over from bullpen guy to starter, and boy, has it looked a lot better in the starting situation than it looked in the bullpen. He's made 3 starts over his last 3 outings. Okay start against the Reds, but then dominating the Cubs and dominating the Rockies, giving up 1 hit over 5 innings. So I'm expecting him to go out there and look pretty good here against the Cardinals. I would be pretty shocked to see him all of a sudden lay an egg in this specific matchup. So yeah, love Ashcraft out there. A big guy, very good stuff. So we'll see what he looks like. The Pirates bullpen hasn't been amazing this year, but hasn't been terrible, especially in this series. So I'm expecting them to be pretty solid. In terms of the offense, 2, 8, 6, 4, 5, and 9 over their last few games is very hot hitting for a team that's still the lowest scoring team in the majors. Now, Cruz coming back from the IL. I think that's a positive for this team. They're 25th in batting average this year. They are 30th in slugging percentage. They could definitely use a live bat out there. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Cardinals, who are really free-falling at this point. They're now 4 games below 500. They'll hand the ball in this one to Michaelis. He's 6-10 on the season, a 5.17 ERA. The last time he was on the mound, he got obliterated by the Rays. His start before that, he was mediocre against the Yankees. Start for that, he was good against the Rockies, but terrible against the Dodgers before that. This guy, you just really haven't been able to trust him too much on the mound. The last time he faced the Pirates was back in early May, so quite a while ago, but he was not great in that outing. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs allowed, and that was a game the Cardinals managed to win, but they were a much better offensive team at that point in the season. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The bullpen's been excellent. That's not a problem. A very solid 3.63 bullpen ERA. Hopefully that's something the Cardinals can build on for next year. It's not going to save their season here. The offense disappearing once again. 1, 3, 7, 2, 6, and 7 over their last few. The last couple games have been rough. Contreras being out probably doesn't help, due to that suspension. They're down to 15th in the majors in runs scored, 25th in batting average. Gone is that Cardinals offense that was looking like a top 5 unit early in the season. So looking at the numbers for this game, I'm a little bit surprised to see the Pirates are plus 110. The Cardinals are minus 125, a total of 8.5 in this game. The Pirates are a pretty bad road team, but not recently. They're 36, 25, and 3 to the under on the road. The Cardinals are 36 and 31 at home, 35, 28, and 4 to the over at home. I would maybe shade just a tad towards the under in this game, but the real value here, I think we want to take the Pirates again. I don't like what I'm seeing in general from the Cardinals right now. The Pirates are hitting the ball a little bit. I think that helps a lot, and I think Ashcraft's going to go out there and have a great start, so that's going to put him in great shape, and Michaelis is terrible, so definitely the Pirates are live at plus 110 as potential dogs of the day. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the San Francisco Giants. These two teams are actually still playing right now pretty early on. The bottom of the 5th, there's already been 7 total runs scored. The Giants are up by 1 in the bottom of the 5th, but the Cubs have been threatening like every inning. So we'll see if they can break through and get the win in that one. The Cubs will hand the ball here in game 3 of this series to Shota Imanaga. He's 8-6 on the year, a 3.03 ERA, and he has been dealing recently. Over his last 4 starts, he's been excellent. Great start against the Reds, decent start against the Cardinals, but dominant stuff his last 2 times out, shutting down the Pirates and shutting down the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm expecting very good stuff from Imanaga in this matchup. I mean, going up against a Giants team that hasn't been the hardest hitting this year, doesn't seem like a spot that's going to trip up Imanaga right now. Like, he is throwing the ball great. The bullpen for the Cubs, great seems like a little bit of a stretch. A 3.77 bullpen ERA, though, is definitely nothing to laugh at. The offense for the Cubs, though, has been a little bit sketchy down the stretch. Like, this is one of the toughest hitting teams in the majors. Like, a very, very dangerous squad, and it just hasn't felt like that much down the stretch. They're still 7th in runs scored on the season. They're 6th in slugging percentage, but just not hitting the cover off the ball like they were in the early, or the first half even, of the season. So we'll see if they can get up to a little bit more offense here in Game 3 of this series, taking on the Giants, who have won 3 in a row. We'll see if they can hold on in Game 2. In Game 3, they're going to hand the ball to Logan Webb. Their ace, he's 12-9 on the year, a 3.13 ERA. He's been throwing the ball really, really well also. He did have a kind of bad start against the Padres, but over his last 5 outings, he's looked very, very good, and he shut down the Brewers over 6 innings his last time on the mound. So I'm expecting Logan Webb to be good. He hasn't faced the Cubs this season, I don't believe. No, he has not faced the Cubs this season, so we'll see how that goes, but I think Logan Webb's going to have a pretty good outing in this one. The Giants' bullpen's obviously been dominant this season, a 3.27 bullpen ERA. Absolutely elite stuff there. Nothing to turn your nose up at, but I will turn my nose up at this offense. They've hit the ball a little bit better recently. 4 runs in their current game, 5, 4, and 7 in the games before that, but just not that great over the course of the year, guys. They're 28th in batting average in the majors. They're 27th in slugging percentage. Not a lot of super dangerous bats out there. Their home run leader has 22 home runs and 65 RBIs. Like, this does not qualify as a dangerous offense. So we'll see what they can come up with this one against Imanaga. I'm not expecting miracles. Looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Cubs are plus 105. The Giants are minus 120. We've got a total of 7 out there. The Cubs are 35-31 on the road, 31-31-4 to the over-under on the road. The Giants are 31-33 at home, 38-24-2 to the under at home. With a total of only 7, I still think the under is live in this game, but better than taking the under, I'll just take the no-run first inning and not have to sweat out the entire game and wonder about bullpens and stuff like that. I think both these starters can go out there, get off to a great start. I think no-run first inning is an excellent spot in this game. I do think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, and I do kind of want to take the underdog, so give me the Cubs at plus 105, but I'd much rather have the no-run first inning than anything else on this one. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Atlanta Braves headed to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. The Braves just won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins, so well played there. At 61-72 on the year, though, and 15 games back in the NL East, this squad running out of things to play for this season. They'll hand the ball in this one to Cal Quantrill, who's 4-11 on the year, a 5.51 ERA. Since coming over there from the Marlins, he's only had 1 start, and it was not great. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs allowed there in a 9-2 loss against the Mets. So we'll see what he can do here against the Phillies. I struggle to expect miracles. He had a rough start against them back in mid-June, so that doesn't feel great, and a terrible start against them back in mid-April. So that's some kind of old history, but Quantrill's not throwing the ball great right now, and that does not fill me with optimism. And neither does that Braves bullpen. An ERA of just over 4. They haven't been super reliable this year, at least down the stretch. The offense, though, they've been hitting the cover off the ball. 12-11-1, 4-2-7 over their last 2. But the last 2 games, they crushed it against the Marlins, a lot against the bullpen and stuff like that, so I'm not going to overreact, but it is at least worth noting. So we'll see what they do here on the road against these Phillies, who are 76-57 on the year. They just got swept by the Mets, so all of a sudden they went from having the NL East sewn up to having only a 4-game lead. That's a little bit embarrassing. They got shut out in the last game of that series by a rookie, so that probably doesn't feel amazing either. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Aaron Nola, who's 2-7 on the year, a 6.52 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs allowed. 2 of them were earned in a 6-4 win against the Nationals. I mean, he hasn't looked good in any of his last 4 starts, if I'm being completely honest. And that's 2 starts against the Nationals, 1 against the Cardinals, 1 against the Guardians. Like, that is not a tough slate of teams to face. So we'll see what he can do here against the Braves. But Aaron Nola, not somebody that's throwing the ball really well right now. The Phillies bullpen has cost them a ton of games this season and has not been very good. A 4.43 bullpen ERA over the course of the year does not fill me with optimism. The offense has been very all over the place. Obviously, getting shut out there yesterday is not a great look. 0-5-3. 3-6-4 over their last few games. I mean, cool. Schwarber's hit 45 home runs. Cool. This team's got a lot of big names on it, but 3rd in batting average, 9th in runs scored, 5th in on-base percentage didn't mean anything there against the Mets. So we'll see if it means something here against the Braves. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Braves are plus 165. The Phillies are minus 200. A total of 9.5 in this game. The Braves are 27-39 on the road, 33-28-5 to the over on the road. The Phillies are 42-22 at home, 32-28-4 to the over at home. I'm not going to back the Braves with Quantrill on the mound. It just doesn't make any sense. So give me the Phillies, I guess, but I'm staying far away from the side, and I'm also not getting too involved in the total. I will lean slightly towards over 9.5 because I think both of these pitching staffs are pretty atrocious at the moment, but this game is probably my biggest stay away spot here on this pretty short slate. Rounding into the home stretch, guys, we're looking at the Miami Marlins heading to New York to take on the Mets. The Marlins at 62-71 have actually been much more respectable this season than I would have expected, but obviously, not headed to the postseason. They're going to hit the ball in this game to Adam Mauser. He's 0-1 on the year, a 6.35 ERA. This young 24-year-old right-hander has only made one start this year, and it was back in June 18th, and he had a rough time against the Phillies. They've got him back up with the big league squad. We'll see what he can do going up against the Mets. I'm not going to be holding my breath for any miracles from him or from that Marlins bullpen, which has been atrocious this season. A 4.21 bullpen ERA. Definitely not looking the best. So we'll see what they do here, against the Mets. I'm not expecting the pitching staff to have a great time. The offense had a pretty lousy time against the Braves, scoring a total of 5 runs over 3 games. That's not a very good look. This has been a decent offensive team this year, and by decent, I mean, significantly below average, but not in the bottom third of the majors. So I guess all of this is, steps in the right direction for this franchise, but, this team's a long way from competing for anything important. So we'll see what they do here against the Mets, who came into the season with sky-high expectations. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff there. McLean is looking like a monster. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games to cut that lead in the NL East that the Phillies had all the way down to 4 games. They'll hand the ball in this one to Clay Holmes, who's 11-6 this year, a 3.60 ERA. His last start, 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs against Atlanta. Start for that dominated the Marlins. Start for that struggled against Atlanta. His season has not been all smooth sailing. I will say that. We'll see what he can do here against the Marlins. He faced them twice back in April. And, one great start, one mediocre start, but it was in April. We're not taking that too much into consideration here. So we'll see what Clay Holmes can do. I'm expecting him to generally be good in this outing. I'm expecting the bullpen for the Mets to generally be above average, but not dominant. They've had a lot of trouble down the stretch this year, which makes me a little bit concerned about them coming out of the pen. The offense, 6-6-13 in that series against the Phillies is great, and they've been hitting the ball better in general. They're up to 10th in the majors in runs scored, 9th in slugging percentage, 16th in batting average. They've, in my opinion, underachieved based on the names on that roster and based on the size of their payroll this year, but we'll see what they can do in this matchup. Now, the odds makers are not shockingly very high on the Mets here. The Marlins are plus 184, the Mets are minus 220. Got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Marlins are 31-34 on the road, 32-31-2 to the over on the road. The Mets are 42-24 at home, 32-31-3 to the over at home. This is another one of those spots where I actually might be taking the favorite here at minus 1.5. I don't love doing that all the time, but with Mauser on the mound, I'm not expecting him to be great. Clay Holmes on the mound, he could be very good out there in this matchup. I do think the Mets bullpen has a significant edge here, and obviously their offense is light years better and hitting the ball well. So give me the Mets in this one, and they might end up in the pinned comment. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Chicago White Sox. The Yankees come into this game 73-60 on the season. They've won their last 4 in a row, though, so, headed in the right direction. They're 4.5 games back of Toronto still in the AL East, so a lot of work to do there. They'll hand the ball in Game 1 of the series against the White Sox to Will Warren. Young Will Warren is 7-6 this season, a 4.47 ERA. He'd been throwing the ball incredibly well until his last start, where he really struggled against the Red Sox. 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs allowed, a 12-1 loss. So we'll see if he can bounce back here. Obviously, the White Sox, pretty solid bounce back candidate. He hasn't faced them this year, but I'm expecting things to go pretty well for Will Warren out there on the mound in this one. The Yankees bullpen has also been something of a problem for this team over the back half of the season. Currently sitting with a 4.32 bullpen ERA. That's actually, 8th worst in the majors, 22nd in the majors or something like that. So yeah, not great from the Yankees bullpen, so we'll see if that can improve a little bit. The offense, though, seems like it's found its groove again, guys. 11-5-10-7 over their last 4 games. Judge hitting the cover off the ball. He's up to, 41 home runs. They're 3rd in the majors in runs scored. They're 3rd in the majors in on-base percentage, and they're the top slugging percentage team in all of Major League Baseball. So a lot to like about the Yankees at the plate right now. They're taking on a White Sox team that just lost 12-1 yesterday to the Royals. That's not a great look for them. They're 48-85 on the year, so not as bad as last season, but still, pretty pretty bad. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Davis Martin. He's 5-9 on the season, a 3.93 ERA. He's actually thrown the ball really well over his last couple of starts. A good start against the Royals, a decent start against the Twins, so some positives for him. We'll see what he can do here against the Yankees. Obviously, a little bit of a different situation. He has not faced New York this season. This 28-year-old righty, I mean, we'll see. I'm not expecting miracles from him against the Yankees. I'm not expecting miracles from the White Sox bullpen, which hasn't been atrocious this year like it was last year, but a 4.01 bullpen ERA does not exactly make them an elite unit. The offense, 1, 4, 7, 8, and 7 over the last few games. So seems like the bats are cooling back off over the last two. This team is 26th in the majors in runs scored, 28th in slugging percentage, and just generally have not been a very good offense this year. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Yankees are minus 176, the White Sox are plus 148. Got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Yankees are a 500 team on the road, 33, 28, and 3 to the over on the road. The White Sox are 29 and 38 at home, 35, 27, and 5 to the over at home. Given the trends on this game and just given my general outlook on it, I don't think over is out of the question in this one. I probably won't be putting it in the pinned comment or anything like that, but I think the Yankees could potentially score 9 runs all on their own the way they've been swinging the bats. I think Will Warren's going to have a very good start, so I do like backing the Yankees here at minus 176. Doesn't seem like a crazy play to me at all. They've been swinging the bats so much better here. They'll probably go out and win. Will they dominate? Maybe. Davis Martin has been throwing the ball well recently, so that might keep this one out of the pinned comment. Guys, that's all the games we have for today on a relatively short Thursday slate. Hit that like button for your luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you're clicking that link in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com. Check out our free email newsletter. You definitely want to get on that, but you also want to check out all that premium content we're putting up over there for the upcoming football seasons. College football and NFL right around the corner, like right there around the corner. So definitely want to get in on that, guys, and while the getting's good. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.